So that's kind of why I do it the way I do it. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Where I Come From, where the only requirement for this podcast is to be where I come from. It is I, Mr. Tone Deaf. I'm back in the building on this beautiful Monday. And I like to let people just freely be who they are in their conversations as well, too. Okay. So that's kind of why I do it the way I do it. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Where I Come From, where the only requirement for this podcast is to be where I come from. It is I, Mr. Tone Deaf. I'm back in the building on this beautiful Monday. It's actually a beautiful Monday for a January in Wisconsin. But I am actually excited for this particular episode. As y'all know, I'm in the new studio space, and the black curtain is up because I got some things going on in the back wall, and I don't want to unveil that just as of yet. So be on the lookout when you randomly see something up there that is pretty dope. But this episode is probably going to be my favorite of the year, and the year just started because I have a very wonderful person joining me today. If you have never heard of Glow, where the hell you been? Okay? Because my business bestie has been making moves left and right, and I swear every single time I see her, she has glowed up, pun intended, even more than she was previously before. Everything from helping the youth to getting a dope ass husband to now doing her first of many TED Talks coming up. So I want y'all to go ahead and say hi to my business bestie here today.
Hey y'all.
What's going on with you today?
Nothing. I'm here. I'm back in my hometown. Thank you so much for hitting me up. Like, now you know if you in town, I
told you that. I told you that. Like so we were initially planning on doing this virtual, but she was like, "Well, I'll be in town on Monday." I was like, "We're not gonna do that virtual when you in town." I was gonna grab that camera over there, and I was gonna drive to wherever you were at, and we were gonna do this interview in person. I am not gonna sit here and do that over the computer. Not with as much as going on with you. So the last time me and you actually sat down and had a conversation, Glow was off of Hopkins, and it was thriving, it was growing. You had girls in the program, and unfortunately, life got to life, and people who should not be behind the wheels caused a major change in regards to that. So how has Glow grown since the situation with the builder?
That is a really great question. That was a really, really difficult time for me. For those who follow me, that happened about between 30 and 45 days after my only brother was murdered.
Right.
You know, so
Sorry
for me to, thank you so much. So for me to pull up, when I got the phone call from, it was like 2:00 in the morning, the neighbors were calling me and they're like, "It's been an accident at your building." I'm like, okay. I got up. She was like, "Listen, before you get here, I want you to know it's bad," but I didn't think that bad. So I called my husband. At the time, he was in Atlanta. Gave him a call like, "Hey, they said somebody hit the building." He's like, "Okay, just get some rest. Go in the morning." I'm like, okay. So when I went, my mom met me there. And the only reason why I went is because everybody started calling me in the morning, like, "They're saying it's an abandoned building." So I'm like, let me go there. And when I went there, oh my goodness, Tone, it was so disheartening because it reminded me, and here I am a therapist, it literally it was traumatic for me. I instantly thought about my brother because when my brother was murdered, he was driving, trying to get away, and he ended up getting in an accident. So when I pulled up to my building, it looked like the scene of me pulling up because I was the first person on the scene for my brother. So it looked like that. And it was so disheartening. And rest in peace for the young ladies who did lose their life. It was unfortunately a fatal. And 2 young ladies lost their life. The driver was a male. He did get away at the time. So I had to deal with that too. Here I am, an organization. I just lost my brother. Pulling up to my headquarters is completely gone. The car demolished it. Like, it's gone.
Right.
And then on top of that, I learned 2 young ladies lost their lives. So for me, it was a lot. But to answer your question, I just wanted to give the listeners some background on what was going on. To answer your question is, God has a way, right?
He does.
God has a way
we just
because
had a whole conversation about
listen, because now Glow is nationally known.
It is. It should have been nationally a long time ago. But.
Yes, thank you so much for that. We're now nationally known. We were able to be able to pivot because we did have another location, so we were able to pivot in that sense. The headquarters is still being worked on. Thank God, because we serve a good God. I finally got a team of individuals that are trusted, and we're making progress.
Okay.
We did have a few crews, but Milwaukee be Milwaukee and sometimes.
Milwaukee. Oh my God.
Yes, and I was over it, and I had prayed, and I was just like, this probably was 90 days ago, and I was like, you know what, God, I'm over a lot of stuff, and I'm like, I've now, I relocated to Georgia, and I'm like, if this was my sign to just pick up and move to Georgia, then I'm okay with I'm done with this building. I'm tired of paying people, and all of this. However, I serve a good God, and when I say he came up with everything I needed for that building, we launched our location in Atlanta now.
Okay.
We have our Instaglow, so we'll talk about that a little later, like our online platform for our girls. So where is Glow? Glow is in a place we've never been. It's Glow 2.0. It's like literally Glow power. I've never in my life, especially thinking about when you've noticed Glow since the beginning.
I still got the shirt.
Man, you understand the throwback shirt, that ugly shirt with the little bag.
Hey, I still got this shirt. It's in the crib. My daughter be wearing it when she be doing stuff in the house now.
Yeah, my day ones got the throwback shirt. That's the beginning. But where Glow is now, like nationally known, we're flying girls to New York. We're flying girls, to Atlanta is our trip coming up. We took girls to Memphis, and it's just, it's a lot.
Okay, so before we go any further, because Glow is doing amazing things, for those people who didn't catch the first time you did an interview, can you tell them what Glow is and what is the purpose of Glow?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. So GLOW stands for Girls Learning to Become Outstanding Women.
Ooh, I like that. Say that one more time.
It stands for Girls Learning to Become Outstanding Women.
Okay.
And we are really true in our wording. And what I mean by that is we work on the social and emotional needs of our young ladies. We meet them where they are. Okay. We're working on things that people don't like to talk about. Confidence building, emotional regulation. We're not telling them not to get angry. Anger management. We're teaching them how to properly place those emotions when they're feeling away. We're giving them housing opportunities. And when I say meet these girls where they are, I don't care if my girls are on First and Keith or if they are in Wauwatosa somewhere. We knock on their doors. We're meeting them where they are. On a mental level, we're meeting them where they are. Not because society told you you're supposed to be this way at your age. We want to get to know you. We want to build that rapport and really meet you where you are mentally, and then let's talk about goals. Okay. So in a nutshell, we meet our girls where they are, and we help them transition to adulthood by offering mentor services. We have our groups, and then that therapeutic, because, I'm really, really big on mental health.
I'm really, really big on that as well, too. Yeah. So how long have you been active?
GLOW has been active since 2017.
What is, in your opinion, your biggest success story for GLOW?
My biggest success story, and I'm getting tears now, is weathering the storm of 2020.
Oh, there's some tissue over here.
You got to hand it to me because GLOW is my baby. Just weathering the storm of 2020. And what I mean by that is everybody know, COVID hit. And self-disclosure for my ladies, one of my nails is missing, so I don't want to hear no stuff on these comments, okay? But 2020, pandemic hit. Yep. I just bought the headquarters, 2019, closed on it. Pandemic hit. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Because when I bought the headquarters, it wasn't this turnkey ready. It was.
Oh, no. If y'all know anything about Hopkins, y'all know that nothing over there is turnkey ready. And I remember the building before you got it. And when I found out about that you had your headquarters now in your buildings, and because I was at Sherman Phoenix, and those who know the area know they're not that far from each other. So I'm driving up Hopkins, and I'm like, oh, that's where she at. Oh, that's where she at. Okay. Ooh, baby. But the one thing I loved about it is, even though you're right there, you were a hub in a place where you needed to be at. If anybody knows anything about Milwaukee, and if you know that area specifically, you know they need that shining light that you were having there in regards to it. And if I'm not mistaken, you had girls who were staying there at times in regards to it because they needed that safe space to be there in regards to it. You had people who would come in and was like, hey, what's this? And now they're part of the organization in regards to it. You were holding events and therapy sessions and all these different things at that location. So you were taking a spot where most people be like, oh, I'll never take Hopkins. And it's now, ooh, I'm going to be on Hopkins today. All of that, and it became a space where the community was growing in regards to it. So when that happened, I can tell you right now that area also died as well in regards to it. Whereas if people just wasn't too much in a rush to come over to this space to get that healing that they needed. But I do love the fact that never stopped you.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not going to lie to you. If that happened to me, TDR would probably be shut down for 3 to 4 months. I would be in the bed, depressed, blanket over my head because I'm going to be like, God, why? But I like, and me and you, this is kind of another reason why we're besties, is we don't always look at things from the viewpoint of, oh my God, here's another problem. We look at things like, okay, if you want me to go over here, just say that. You ain't got to take it from me.
That guy.
But I understand I'm stubborn because I'm trying to feed in. But you want me in Georgia? I mean, hubby already in Georgia. But if you really, really want me in Georgia, just say that, fam.
Yeah.
And now look at you.
Dang, and that is, and it was those blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
I kid you not. It was I don't want to do this. I cannot count on my fingers the amount of times that my inner circle, I call them my glow squad. Shout out to my glow squad, because I get to be me, authentic.
You do.
But how many conversations I had with them like, this just too much. Just forget it. Why I gotta be the one? Why I always gotta be the one to this and that? Why I'm the, all of that. So it's what you said. However, when you are a servant, and when this is your purpose, when this is your calling, no matter how many times you say no, you know it's going to circle back. And when you accept that, then I know, let me process through these emotions. My team let me be a brat. And then they be like, okay, now what we finna do?
Exactly.
And then I talk to God and I say, you know what, God, what we finna do? Because even 2020, when that occurred, when the pandemic shut everything down, we had just got this location and working on this location, did our soft grand opening, and 2020 hit. It's like, what am I going to do? Because not only location-wise, but that was a hit for my girls. My girls in my organization, some of them were first-generational high school graduates.
Right.
They could no longer walk across the stage now. Some of them had just thought they were pregnant. Some of them just had left abusive relations. It's a whole lot that people don't understand. Some of them, Glow was their safe haven where they were able to escape and just chill and relax. So it was on that level, like, what are we going to do? And we were like one of the first organizations that pivoted and was on Zoom and doing it during that time. But not only was that a difficult time for me, but a lot of people didn't know I was going through a divorce at that time. And me going through a divorce with the person that's the president of your board, and they're acting a little funny and you don't know what Jeffrey, like, that was a lot for me in 2020. And then here you are, God, you want me to still show up and help heal these girls. You want me to talk to them about confidence, and my confidence is through the roof right now in a negative way. You want me to still figure it out for people. How can I help this young girl get over her depression because she can't go over the stage and I don't even know what I'm about to do, So
let me ask you a question. From a therapist point of view, how'd you get through it?
I got through it. It's very cliche. I'm definitely going to say God, but before God, because at that time I grew up in church, and I know God, but I didn't really know God until after this situation. Right. And when I say really know God, I'm talking about really know God. When you can hear God, you understand who you are. When I was depressed, like no one was checking on me, and then of course it was the thing. You know, people love gossip. Gossip, the truth doesn't matter when you got gossip in play.
Court of public
you know,
opinion.
Understand, gossip makes for a better conversation. So I didn't have anyone I can lean to. And a lot of people in my family, it was taboo. Divorce is taboo. So
Right.
everyone's like, stay, stay, stay. So I didn't really have anyone to turn to. So that forced me to, shout out to my girl, Sarah Jake Roberts. That's
We're going to talk about that too. That's on my docket.
It forced me to listen to her. And I don't know, she just had this down-to-earth personality. And listening to her, I started thinking like, you know what? Let me talk to God. Let me
Right.
pray. It was that, and then it was two of my closest friends, just like sometimes combing my hair, sometimes talking to me, reminding me who I am. It was listening to those Monica songs, you know, crying through it. And then it was me going to therapy. Me going to therapy forced me to look at myself, on my
Always.
role in all the situations, accept my life for what it was and not internalize it. So me going through therapy, me listening to Sarah, those combinations tapped me into God, and the rest was history. I have forgot who I was. So me going through all the processes, having a good support system, going through therapy, and really leaning on God and releasing control, that's what helped me get through that part.
That's what I love to hear. That's what I love to hear. And this is what made you become a therapist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's what really made me. So I graduated from clinical psychology in 2020 to be a therapist. What actually made me become a therapist is Glow. When I was mentoring my girls, prior to Glow, mentorship, I was in mentorship and crisis stabilization, just walking into those homes. And my girls, you know, some of them had some behavioral issues, what society will call,
Right.
but some of them did suffer from depression,
Right.
did experience anxiety, and their parents didn't understand it. I rarely understood it. So
Right.
I'm like, I want to help my girls on a deeper level. So that's what made me go become a therapist. But what made me believe in therapy like no other was going through my own triumph, going through my own therapy, and starting my own healing journey.
And that's funny because, believe it or not, TDR started for the exact same reason. Back in 2011, I went from having two simultaneous $19 to $20 an hour jobs when most of the market was only paying 10 to not having anything at all. It just randomly lost everything. And I think during this time, the unemployment rate was like 10%. So it was hard for people to find jobs. You were either overqualified or nobody just didn't have anything. And luckily I had a family that was kind of supportive in the regard. I only have to say kind of because everybody's going through their own thing simultaneously. And me and my brother are sitting down and he's like, come on, bro, we finna go to this local wrestling event. You need to get out the house. You need to go do something. And I'm going there and we are just having so much fun, just being ignorant, bothering people, acting like the wrestlers' friends and just interacting with it to the point where we started becoming part of the backstage situation. So as we're having these trips and we're having these conversations, it's like, hey, bro, why don't we make this something? Why don't we just go start our own show and let's start talking and make an internet radio station? I was like, all right, but it's not going to be more than just this. I wanted to do more, and I've always been a giver. So the minute that I came up with the idea and figured out how to make it grow, I instantly reached out to people. I got this opportunity. I'm only using it one day out the week. There's 6 other days. Pick a day and just do what you want to do in regards to it. And next thing you know, it started to becoming those people's safe spaces, those people creative nature. Those people were able to go out and say, hey, for the last 2 years, I've been able to work through all my trauma. Literally just doing this show in an unjudgmental way. Then I met P3, shout out to Pretty Plus Size and Powerful. And it was like, hey, I have this space over here we record at. I was like, you know what? I want to use this space too. And every time they would have guests, I want to start a show. I want to do this. I want to do that. So it turned to that my network went from just being a bunch of guys cracking jokes to this is an open therapy session for a lot of people. This is a lot of people's personal journal. This is a lot of people's ability to work through their own mental anguish and issues. And it's literally have changed a lot of people's lives, which is why I will never not do this.
I love it.
In regards to it. So even having the year that I had last year, I'm actually probably more motivated to do this than I ever did before because I know how it helps people out and how it makes people. And fun fact, every time you made a step to something great, it motivated me to make another step.
Oh, wow.
And even though we weren't in line with what we were doing, our purpose was still in line. So when I found out that Savannah and you were connected the way y'all were, and I met Savannah through somebody else, and I seen her mission, and I was like, you got a dope-ass mission. I'm behind you on this. Let's make this be something. She'll tell you, I said, hey, you need a podcast to go along with your vision. So seeing that you guys are connected, I seen a lot of you in her, which made it even easier to support her. So then to find out that y'all are connected like that was even dope.
Yeah.
And then this past year when y'all went to the Sarah Jake's conference,
BFG Evolution,
and I'm getting there. This is my rolling into that, and she went part of it. I was even more invested in regards to what you ladies were doing. So can you talk about that experience?
Yes.
First of all, how did you get that? Because you wasn't just there as being a part of the conference. You had like a whole suite, and you were hosting and teaching, and like you were a part of the conference. So how'd that come about, first of all?
Yes, first off, shout out to my girl, Savannah. Lupus has no face, yes. But for me, just being, okay, so it's a lot of things, right? Because we know God, but being this is, I'm trying to say how to, okay, so with Sarah Jakes, right? Always love Sarah Jakes. Fan. So I considered going to Women Evolve. I've always considered it. But one day somebody randomly inboxed me and was like, you have BFG. Like, have you thought about like having a whole thing there with BFG? I just felt like I should ask you that. So I'm like, okay, I'll look into it. So when I looked into it and I looked into the suites and things like that, I prayed about it. My husband didn't know about it. And I was just like, all right, God, I'm about to go ahead and invest into this thing. And then one day I talked to him and I was like, babe, what you think about like BFG collaborating with Sarah? Because everybody who knows me know I love her.
Before we go any further, what is BFG for those who don't know?
Okay, so for those who does not know, those who don't know, BFG stands for Boss Fly Girls. Okay. So Boss Fly Girls is a movement that I started last year. Okay. We recently just met a year, January 1st. The reason why I launched Boss Fly Girls is because this notion of growing up where I grew up, a lot of the times I dimmed my light. And I dimmed my light because people made me feel like I had to dim my light, like I was doing too much, you think you the stuff, things like that. And I got to a place in my life last year where I'm like, you know what? I'm done with that. Like, I'm bossing up. Like, my life is great right now. I had just relocated to Atlanta. I'm like, have this dual residency. I'm like, I should be able to say I'm a boss. I should be able to do that. And then I have my own travel business. Right. So my own travel business, shout out to Glow Travel. With my own travel business, I'm like, what about a movement like with these Boss Fly Girls where I can help them heal the internal girl inside of them so they can be the boss that they're supposed to be, because I suffer from imposter syndrome. Ooh, so me healing through all of that, I'm like, I want to motivate other boss women. So I was talking to D and he's like, yeah, you need to implement Fly. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to implement Fly. And then there was a dispute on social media because I'm like, this is what it can mean. And then it was a conflict of what somebody else had in their establishment. I really get to that by mistake. And then, so then my homegirl, I was like, all right. I was like, it's not that serious. Like, I'll change it. And my homegirl was like, well, let it mean something different because I ain't finna let you, like, I love my team. My squad just be getting me together. She like, that's your mission. That's your vision. You ain't about to, this a whole movement. You finna help heal people. It's a part of, you ain't finna just say forget it because one person. So I changed the meaning of what Fly meant, but the whole mission of it all, Boss Fly Girl, BFG, Boss Fly Girl is for those women who don't they fear the bossness.
Right.
It's the motivation to inspire them, to spark that inner glow inside of them, to help heal that little girl in them that have them afraid of being bossness.
Right.
And not only that, but give them opportunities to heal for real internally. Right. Give them opportunities to be financially free, mental free, like really going to the next level. So that's the whole BFG movement.
You know what I love about that? If you really look at how your organizations are working, they're all connected in one way or another. You literally can take a young lady from the streets who can go through Glow, then go out, be done with Glow, and immediately become part of BFG and still have that continuous support system, that continuous growth. So you're literally using all of your platforms to basically keep everything connected, but still make every single thing feel like its own individual need and want.
Absolutely. And that is
like
because it's all because of a greater calling. Like, this, it's cute to be a therapist, but I'm a therapist because it's a part of my calling.
Exactly.
So all of these missions are a part of the calling. Glow, girls learning to become outstanding women. BFG, helping heal the little girl in the woman. It's all simultaneously because the goal is to help spark that inside, that internal, so we can really know our internal power, so we can be what it is we're supposed to be as women. So I'm going to either start you young or I'm going to start you older and go tap into that little girl, because something inside of you is not allowing you to own up to what you're supposed to, become. So all of that, and even with the travel business, seeing the world, I didn't understand its place in my life at the time when I first started my business, but now I get it. My women need to see the world. They need to experience other cultures, because I'm not only saving black and brown. This is a global impact. You understand what I'm saying? And how else is it going to be globally if we're not traveling the world together and understanding new things?
And right now is a really good time for us as African Americans to try to embrace the world, because we are starting to see that America ain't the happy-go-lucky place we want to think it is, especially when we put a felon in charge of everything. That's a whole nother conversation. But going out, seeing the world, experiencing things from their perspective, and realizing that there's more to the world that's not Americanized, you tend to have a different outlook on life.
Absolutely.
One of the things I used to love, like back in high school, the Nefertiti dancers used to be able to go to Africa every other year in regards to it, and it got funded and they was able to go there, and it was very enlightening because we would only know so much of Africa based on what they would tell us. But when you go and you experience and you see culturally, in a lot of places and spaces, they're identical to us, but in other spaces they are a little bit behind, but they're still surviving, because that behind is not necessarily a problem.
No, it's not
an issue. Just because we are moving and advancing and got iPhone 16 doesn't mean that 11 still can't get the job done. And it may be even better for a lot of people. But that's a whole nother conversation within itself. But let's get back to this conference.
Yeah, so that's Boss Fly Girls. For anybody who want to join, follow me on Facebook. You can search Boss Fly Girls Collaboration, and you can find us there. It is a private group where I go live and just really talk about women issues. I really give it to y'all in the real, uncut, and just let y'all know some of the things that I know as a therapist, but more so some of the things that I experience internally myself that a lot of people are not talking about. And I want you to know you're not alone, and I can help you get through that. So fast forward to the conference. Yes, BFG Evolution. So why not? I'm a big person who, yes, I believe in therapy, but I understand. Remember what I said earlier, it wasn't just therapy for me. It was the connection, spiritual connection, and understanding God. So why not bring women where I know I'm known for mental health. I know my calling. I know what I can do with someone's brain. Why not then, who I feel is a powerhouse, hit them with that spiritual component? Well, I know a thing or two, but I ain't know, you know what I'm saying, my girl Sarah, so why not collab with another impact player, and then she know who's dope in her field. Like you said with the podcast, you didn't just do you brought some other powerhouses to help you fulfill the overall dream. So I wanted to create this space where they were going to get the spiritual awakening that I needed them to do, mixed with the mental component, because now I'm putting you in this vulnerable space, because when you hear a word that you know for you have no choice but to be vulnerable. When you're vulnerable, there are airwaves in your brain that opens up, and now you're able to really hear and deposit what I need you to hear so you can go back home and really do the work. So that is where I wanted to collaborate. So yeah, rented out the space. We did this whole campaign. My marketing team as well as my husband got together. We did this collab where we wanted to make it a big thing.
Shout out to hubby, because bro behind the scenes has done tons. And I also want to say I love how y'all love each other. I do. Because you never do anything without giving this man his flowers. And I love that for y'all. I definitely love that for you, bro. Because I know how she was before she met you. And I'm not saying she was a bad person, but she's a great person because she met you. And 9 out of 10, I guarantee you're a great person because of her, too. So give me something right there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, my dog.
I love that.
And what's y'all hashtag again?
Dents. Oh, put a dent in it.
There we go. That's like. Can we get that on the shirt? Can I get a shirt with that on there?
Put a dent in it.
Put a dent in it. I want it. I want it.
We got you.
We gonna get to that in a minute.
We got you. Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
After the conference was done, you had everything. How did you feel after
Let me tell you how I felt after this conference, okay? Because
you need a water?
After this, yes,
okay,
I got
you
this.
Got one, okay.
So after this conference, it was the work began because you're in this moment. It's like you're in it. Okay, it's happening. I have all women from all walks of life here. I have women who don't even know God and just like, I'm here because I support BFG movement, but I'm here because I also want to know God how you know God, Mickell. When I say they had headaches during the seminar, I'm like, that's the enemy. Like, you got to keep going. And when I say when they landed the things that has happened in their life since, they're amazing. However, we all felt like, not all, probably about 80% of us felt attacked immediately when we landed. Once I landed and my husband picked me up, we ended up getting pulled over. After that, he ended up going to jail. I had to go bail him out. Yes, this is me coming from the airport.
Bro, you should know better in Atlanta.
Listen. We didn't know the headlights were out.
Okay. I give you a pass on that.
Yeah.
They was messing with you.
Oh, yeah.
They was messing with you.
We didn't know the headlights were out. And where we are, we live like, the place we live at is so it's a whole system, a whole whatever.
More.
Yeah, so
I'm
out there.
To Atlanta.
Yes, and I'm knowing like when they're pulling us over and we're out, I'm talking to them and I'm like, I just left the Sarah Jakes event and I'm all excited because to me, she's the world. And this officer was like, who is that? We don't care about that. But the way he said it immediately, I was like, oh, this is the enemy. I'm not even fit to get upset. This is the enemy. I knew what was going on. So after that moment, I didn't blow up. We handled that little situation. Moving forward, I put my head down. I had a heart-to-heart with my son because during that event, God spoke to me loud and clear. You need to make it right with your son. Y'all both are stubborn, but your son needs you. So I flew to came to Milwaukee to see my son, had that conversation. After that, everything up and up. Period. Everything times 10. BFG Atlanta sold out before December was over. So our 2025 BFG Evolution, that's already sold out. So now it's just like, it's been this awakening. And then I know we're going to get to TED Talk, but even that, it's been a whole awakening experience ever since that movement. So if you are out there, just follow and trust the process. Like, show up in the time where you feel like you can't show up anyway, because you never know how God is going to work in your life.
Big facts. One thing I love about you is you are very articulate in when you're conveying your feelings and your experience. And when you tell your stories, we can feel like it's our story as well, too. We don't have to be there for it. We don't have to see it. But just by you explaining it, I can feel the passion. I can feel the joy. I can feel the excitement. I can feel God talking through you when you tell your stories. And because of that, that is why when you made the announcement about you having a TED Talk, I was like, she about to kill this. And because I already know this is for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't jealous. I wasn't why she get it? It was like, no, bitch. what we about to talk about. Like, that was the only thing that was going on in my head when you made the announcement. And then, because when you told me, was the first thing I said, you got to document this. Like, as soon as you said it, I was in your, like, you got to document, you got to keep track, you got to make this, we got to put everything in it. You got to let the world know how this is going to go, because I know as a person who is media, how this can make such a big deal. And when I was telling people, like, my business bestie got a TED Talk, and there was people like, well, what's a TED Talk? And I'm looking like, you don't know what the hell is a TED Talk? How are we friends? No. And then I explained to them what it was and how major and important this is. And then you told me what you were going to talk about, and I was like, I got to be there for that. I don't know how I'm going to be there for that, but I got to be there for that. So let's start here. How did you even get it? Because I'm just now getting confident enough to want to do a TED Talk, because I too suffer from imposter syndrome. It's part of the reason why I say 5 years of my business didn't go nowhere, because I didn't think I deserved to be there. And it wasn't until I realized and I sat down and I talked to my other people who are doing what I'm doing, and it's like, oh, we look up to you. Wait a minute, but I look up to you. No, but you doing this, and but you doing that, and it's like, we're doing the Spider-Man meme. It's like, oh, I'm really doing this. So let's see what we can do next. And like I said, once again, when I be having those moments, you be done post something in it, and y'all putting dents and stuff and going crazy with it. I'm like, you know what? If Business Bestie can get out there and do it, I can do it. That's why I say you my business bestie. So how do we get... I know.
That's like that's the best compliment right there. Like when I feel seen,
right.
it's not the, oh, them pants are just cute, or oh, she making this, or them moves or glow. It's when you like, no, that inspired me, yo. Like, because then I know that I'm doing my job regardless of whatever. So thank you so much for that. Like, that means so much.
No doubt.
But as far as TED Talk, it's like, and I said that I suffer from imposter syndrome. I used to say I had imposter syndrome, and I was talking to a good friend of mine. She's a doctor, and she was like, you know what? I have imposter syndrome. I don't believe that we ever heal all the way from imposter syndrome. You can get over a moment of it and realize who you are, but it's going to be another trigger like that. So now I say I'm in remission of imposter syndrome. So we'll fast forward, because it goes to the TED Talk. So with me being in remission, I'm like, I already put it in the universe 2 years ago. I made a post, and I be stalking. Y'all know how like social media had those memories like a year. I be stalking my like, come on post, please share, because I want to reshare the post where I said boldly, I am going to do a TED Talk one day. And the reason why I said that is because I had watched my first ever TED Talk, and I felt like I'm supposed to be on that stage. That's the type of stage I need to be on. So fast forward to me putting that in the atmosphere. Here you go. And I posted that when I did have the imposter syndrome.
Right.
Because one thing about us people who experience that, we be knowing internally who we are. We just can't get out our own mental, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So fast forward, I had posted something again about a TED Talk, just talking stuff, and randomly Tashima Dean, shout out to her. Yes, that's one of my coaches. That's my baby.
That's one of the newest people that came in my life in 2024, and I am forever grateful for her being there.
Absolutely. Her story is so amazing. Shout out to her. Fight AAA. That's my homegirl. And she's one of my, actually, she's on my team. She's one of my coaches. And she randomly texted me like, this link. It was this lady saying if you wanted to meet with her to talk about TED Talk and audition, then follow her or something randomly. I was in the midst of something, so I'm a person that if you shoot me something, I can't be on Facebook like I want, or social media. I can't be on social media like, oh, I want to do TED Talk, and then I feel like God, like you was saying earlier offline, like God would be like, okay, what's your excuse now? Like I'll put it right in your face, right? So I'm like, forget it, set the appointment, and once it's on my calendar, it's there. Let's fast forward. The lady, I met with her. Shout out to Dr. Nicholson. I met with Dr. Nicholson. And she was like, I don't even know how you got on my calendar. She was like, I stopped doing interviews for TED Talk 2 months ago. She was like, but I looked and saw you on my calendar today. I was going to honor that. She was like, well, I was like, well, could you tell me about it? I said, because if you're telling me that your schedule was blocked off and this randomly was a text someone sent me and here we are, I believe in the God. So I know what I put in the universe. So could you just take time and tell me about TED Talk then?
Right.
And she told me about it. And then she was like, I reached 10. Like, we were going to just do 10. I already reached it. And she was like, you know what? I tell you what. She was like, you'll have to the end of today. This is the audition. This is what it got to be about. Watch this TED Talk so they can kind of explain to you like what we're looking for,
right.
what you need to talk about. It needs to be a 2-minute video. If it go over that, I'm ending it. And it's no more. And it was strict rules to this.
Right, very.
I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Because again, if this came to my lap, I know. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, what I'm gonna talk about? All throughout the day, life's still lifing. You know, I'm the CEO of Glow. I'm here. I've still got deadlines. This is a Monday, busiest day ever. I'm writing, taking meetings. Fast forward, hubby had just been gone for a week not on vacation. He was working. He just came home. So you know how that is. Your man want attention. So and I want attention. I ain't seen my bae in a week. Exactly. So I'm trying to fight through that. And then here I am. I got the speech, and it's time for me to practice. Now kids from school, now they making noise, so now I'm frustrated. Like, oh my goodness, how am I gonna get this done? And then I just got mad, left the house, and then I went in the car. And I was like, I'm just gonna do this audition in the car. So I turned on the camera, I did the audition, and I stopped like at 1 minute and 58 seconds. And I was like, and scene. And I was like, listen, y'all, I'm gonna keep this rolling. I said, but I met the deadline. I didn't go over 2 minutes.
Right.
So hear me out. I said, I know it's a little ghetto to be doing an audition in a car, but if y'all want authenticity, this is what it looks like for me. I got a house full of kids running around. I got a hubby that's need my, I just gave them the breakdown. And I was like, I take it seriously. I don't want you to think this a game, but I do take it this seriously. That's why I wasn't afraid to do this audition. And I sent this to him. Of course, my anxiety, I'm checking my emails every 5 minutes. And the way I sent it to them, you can see if someone opened it. So 2 days later, I saw they opened it. And then I saw, she accepted it that night. And then she opened it like 2 days later. And then I heard back with them within 5 days. And it was like, you were like, you got accepted. We're going to make the exception. And I'm like, I just cried. Like, thank you, God. Like, whatever I got to do. So that's how I was the last and final. Yep.
It be like that. The minute you got the text message, it was already yours.
That part.
And if you pay attention, like we were talking about earlier, it's the enemy. Mm-hmm. That's why, even though these are not things that are like, ooh, that's the enemy trying to get at me, but it's one of those like, look, these are things that I know you're going to make you say, nah, I'm not going to do it because the kids need you, the business needs you, hubby needs you. Those things would naturally make us be like, look, fine, it's okay. But you still powered through, which is how you know you were going to get it.
That's so crazy, right?
Yeah.
And the ironic part about that is when I got the acceptance after telling hubby and my mom, and she was too like, wait, my baby, thank you, happy for me. She was like, but what's TED Talk? I'm like, you don't know TED Talk? Because I'm like, if you don't know how you, but shout out to Shima for being obedient, because because she was the first person I told outside of them, she don't even remember texting me the link. She don't even remember sending me the link to schedule the appointment to do the TED Talk. So you can't tell me.
God did that.
Come on now.
God worked through her on that one. He was like, look, I can't get to her phone because she not answering. I send it through you instead.
Because I know if you send it, she going to feel like you calling her bluff. Right.
So I'm just going ahead and use you real quickly. I know. I got friends that be like that. It'd be like, hey, Tone, there's this going on. Like, and you know what's so funny? That's something that I do too. Like, I'm all about partnerships, collaborations, and creating an environment where resources need to be shared. Yeah. Because I came from that world. If I know something, I can't use it. Why keep it to myself? And I'll give it to somebody else. And it's to the point where one of my Facebook pages just is nothing but people talking business, offering courses, offering resources. And you may, if you ever see my page, I don't care what somebody's posting. I don't have to talk to you ever. If it looks like it's a resource that can help people, I share it. I get to the habit that once a day, I find 6 posts and I just share it.
Love it.
Because we don't know what the difference that might be for not only the company, but the people who need it.
The people who need it. Now, speaking of people who need it, you even will take it a step farther and hit us, the people that's like in your inner and you love.
And I was getting ready to get there.
Go ahead, because I'm like, that done touched my soul.
That's
a
what I was
few
getting ready to get
days.
at. So if there's a class, and Savannah she can vouch for this. If there's a class and it's something, I don't care what it is, if it's business, nonprofit, if it's resources, if it's learning how to do something, not only am I signing me up, I'm signing up certain people I know. Like, look, I just got done signing this up. Check your email for this. It's this, that. If you can't go, cool, you can't go. But if you're free, go to this. Do this. If my friends got something going on, it's like, hey, man, I need about 10 people for this. Hey, I need 10 people who want to do boom. Put it out there. I make sure I say, hey, what is your business? Like, matter of fact, this weekend I was visiting Brandon from the Mill Clothing Company in their new spot, and we're sitting there and we're just chopping it up because they had a what's it called? An entrepreneur market where they bring different entrepreneurs in and they sell their product. I'm sitting here talking to them. Brandon's like, hey, man, you're just the person I need to talk to. I'm trying to start this podcast and I need to make sure this works. He brings me this microphone, these cords, and I look at it like, bro, you can't do nothing with this. Come see me tomorrow. And I literally took what I can only describe as my original podcast recording equipment, cords, mixers, bags, microphones. Here. I don't care what you do with it, but here, go be great with it. Because I'm not doing nothing with it. And for all I know, and the fact that you're not making a podcast because you want to be a podcast, you're making a podcast to give children a voice. We don't know what that might do for that kid. And the simple fact that just giving you a mixer and some microphones could turn this kid from a person doing 25 to life to the next CEO of a company.
Yes, sir.
I'm never not going to give people that opportunity. I'll give what I can give as long as it don't make me go broke. And I always will put people in places and spaces. Hey, here's a class this Saturday from 10 to 12. Here's the link. If you ain't got, I'll sign you up. Here's the tickets. Hey, this costs $10. Here, I'll front you 20. Bring somebody with you. Don't ever just do it only on your own. And I do that all the time because I don't know what the difference could be from you making bad life choices to you creating generational wealth. And I don't even ask for anything in return. You'll never have to shout me out about anything. As long as you do it and you make it successful and you learn from it, that's all I need. That's all I need in regards to. And that's why I also say, after everything I told you about earlier, that's how I know I'm going to get blessed. Because even while I'm going through whatever I'm going through, I'm still making sure, here's this information, here's this link, here's this resource. Had somebody who needed, I forgot what it was. I think they needed models or something. I went online. Hey, I need 10 models for this right here. And I know people's like, oh, Tom, for you, I got you. What time you need me to be there? All right, here's 10 people. There you go.
Yeah, it's a blessing to be a blessing.
Exactly. And I actually love that. I love helping other people, which is why, once again, I'll never not do this. So,
absolutely.
what are we talking about at this TED Talk?
TED Talk. So we are talking about the mask we wear and the hidden cost. Hashtag mask off. So what that means, without giving too much.
I don't want you to give me too much.
But I'm going to give the underneath premises of it because it's very important. And I want people to really tap in when we unleash this. We wear masks. What do I mean by that? When we wake up, we wear masks. We put on a mask before we open the door, before we step outside, we wear masks where we have to pretend to be something. We have to pretend to not feel something, or we have to pretend to feel something to get by in society. A lot of times we see this in people who may have some type of autistic diagnosis. But we as people too wear masks where we have to present ourselves a certain way. You know, when you are answering that phone call, you have a professional voice that you put on. In the time, let's say for me, for an example, I'll use myself. When I lost my brother, I still had clients that needed to go through their own healing process. So I had to wear a mask to be the professional and hide from my true internal feelings. So my message to the world is letting people know that we wear masks, and okay, we do that because our brain primary job is to protect us. So it's a protection, and it's not always bad. However, sometimes we do it so much that we lose sight of who we are.
Exactly.
And that is where the problem occurs. So this TED Talk is not only highlighting and letting people know that they wear masks, it's also making people more aware of the hidden cost of wearing that mask is, not only individually, but also as a society and then globally.
The
and how can
syndrome.
we change that? Absolutely.
That's what it is. It's the Batman syndrome.
Absolutely.
Oh, we can talk about that later.
Absolutely.
Ooh, when you're ready to start putting that together, give me a call. I got you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
We're going to build this.
That's exactly what it is. Putting on that cape, just feeling like we got to be the superheroes all the time. And then, of course, me being who I am, I'm never going to give a talk and educate my people without giving some solutions. So I end the talk with giving some real life solutions. And y'all know if they put me on that stage, I'm me. So I speak it just like this. I speak it raw and truthfulness, you know, and of course present it in a way where it is going to be reciprocal and someone can take it everywhere globally as well. But yeah.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like the blueprint I use for podcasting.
What's that?
Every time you do a podcast, you have to make sure you do three things. You need to inform, you need to educate, and you have to entertain. Mm-hmm. And if you do all three of those in your show, you have a successful episode. You'll always have an episode that will require people to come back and want to learn more. Because you're putting a little bit of yourself in there, but more importantly, you're not doing the finger pointing. Mm-hmm. That's what me and my brother like to refer to as bald head podcast rhetoric. Where you're just spewing out your opinions and trying to mask them as facts. But if you are informing people about what you're dealing with, what you're talking about, you're educating them on whatever the topic of choice is, and you're entertaining them during the whole entire part, you've had a successful podcast, and you'll have a successful TED Talk as well too.
Absolutely.
And,
thank you.
And because I know a little bit about podcasts, and I know you guys will have a successful podcast and a successful TED Talk, because if I'm not mistaken, ain't the Dents doing the podcast?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me I gotta know, what is this podcast about?
This podcast, yes, shout out to the hubby over here looking at me while he like with the podcast.
And shout out to him and his actorial debut, because I seen that commercial that y'all did for y'all podcast, and that was dope. That was dope. Shout out to you.
So our podcast, my husband and I were just having a conversation. Actually, this was brought to us by several people, like who get to experience our energy offline, like the realness, and like, people need to see y'all funny, like y'all life is, because we're in it. So we just looking at it like, I understand this my person, I understand all of that, but we're just looking at it, and people like, even like the good and the bad, like we're not perfect. Our inner circle know all hats of us, the good, the bad, and all of that. And they're like, the way that y'all get through this, like people should know that. So we got together, and I'm like, well, even in the intro you hear me saying, "Bang, it's not a reality show," because he be talking stuff like no reality show. So I had a conversation with him, and he swear I convinced him about this podcast.
You probably did.
First off, both of y'all should not be shaking your head at the same time. But it's because what this meaning is purposeful, right? Everything with me is definitely purposeful. The podcast, what it's about is giving it the raw, the truth, the uncut, and the ugly. What I mean by that is I want to inspire couples. I want to inspire people who are looking to one day pursue someone, and then I want to inspire people individually to know that we go through things. These are some of the things we went through. These are some of the things we healed through. And these are some of the things we are experts at. So the podcast in a nutshell is giving our truth in a way to help heal others and having those tough conversations no one wants to talk about. Like, for an example, an episode, a pre-episode that we just launched was for asking couples, should you go to the strip club with your spouse or with your significant other? Right. And just having that controversy, because we had someone close to us come. They came for their anniversary to celebrate in Atlanta. We all went to the strip club. Right. And it was this big thing. Y'all got to subscribe on YouTube to get the whole details.
I need to know the answer.
Huh?
What was your answer, bruh?
You want to know the answer? He want to know the answer.
What was your answer to that question? Okay.
Yes.
You was okay with that?
We go to the strip clubs all the time.
That's that Milwaukee. That's that Milwaukee. Nah. I just to chime in, I personally am not against it, but I'm also not a huge strip club fan myself. Mm-hmm. But if they want to go do that, I'll be there with them. I'll be there with her. I got no beef with it.
Yeah.
I personally don't like going to strip clubs because I actually have.
Actually, he goes with me. He's not a huge fan. He's not against it. Now y'all know what man is against. You know what I'm saying?
I'm against it, but it's for different reasons.
Yeah.
I'm against it because I actually have sisters who have been dancers, and I don't want to go see my sister on the job. So it's like I don't want to pop up and you happen to be working this night. So I've just never wanted to go to the I don't know, like I ain't going. Yeah. You know, she might be there tonight. Why don't you call her? But she didn't answer the phone, so she probably working. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna go just in case. And it just became like, it's not important to me.
Yeah, with me, like just growing up, my god sister, she was a dancer, but I was around dancers. Right. For me though, I tried dancing one time. I went to a party. I was so young. I would never believe that. I think I was like 17. That's why I go hard for Glow Girls, because I understand the mental and everything of how you can be manipulated to think that's what it is. When you're around that, it's like, what's the other choice? Of course, I tried it one time and that was it for me. However, I wasn't against it. But going back, fast forward, strip clubs for me are entertaining. A lot of the times I'm sitting chopping it up with the girls. We're talking about goals and all of those. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, y'all, high turns up sometimes, but it's entertaining.
If you go to an actual strip club, not a booty shake club, but a strip club, they are very athletic.
Yes.
That is a skill set.
That's the ones I love. Those are the ones I love.
I might roll with y'all on that one.
Like we're eating dinner, we're having meetings, we're chopping it up. Like it's the environment is really, the aesthetic of it all. That's what I love about it. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, I'll let that slide. If you can close a business deal while she on the ceiling, cool. Get it. I get it. I can work with that.
You see why he don't complain when we go? So
well, y'all two also have a chemistry that is unmatched in today's society. So I feel like no matter where y'all go, you two will find some way to make it fun. Y'all can go horseback riding, and bro could hate it, but whatever you do, he's going to do it too, because he knows that this is what you want to do, and he's going to find a way to make it fun. So that's what I love about y'all too. Whatever y'all do, y'all always make it fun. So that's kind of the reason why I want to talk about y'all podcast, because I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
One of the things I've always wanted is I want a couple podcasts on my network, but I don't know, maybe it's just the mentality of the city, maybe it's the dating scene right now, but just a lot of people are just not wanting to talk about relationships in a positive light anymore. Like I used to love like shows like Black Love and stuff like that. And even though hubby was like, this is not a reality show, y'all would be a very entertaining reality show. I can literally see y'all, but y'all wouldn't be the kind of reality shows that have the confession rooms and all the messiness. Y'all's would be like when you look at HGTV reality shows where she's out here selling homes, but in the back, y'all still having y'all family dynamic in regards to it, which is making it interesting. And then we might start following you because you're the focal point with Glow, but we may fall in love with bruh. Like, we want to know what he's doing. What's going on over here? Like, more for the dents. Like, and I can see that. And then the fact that y'all hashtag put a dent in it, that's fucking major. Yeah. Like, dude, that'll be a show I will tune in. Look, if I got to go talk to Tyler myself, like, bro, look, you can rub on my kneecap if you have to, but this needs to be a show. Okay?
Y'all heard it first.
I will sacrifice for I'll take one for the team.
You gotta take one for the team. Y'all heard it first. That's true BFF style, okay? If your business bestie if they ain't willing to get the kneecap rub for the business deal, they ain't your business bestie, okay?
Look, you can rub on the knee. That's all you getting, bro.
5 seconds.
But we got to make this a show, okay? Because I know I'm going to sneak in the background once or twice. I'm like, hey, I was on TV. I'm good. Did you do something strange since it changed? Look, we're not going to talk about that. ready to tell my story, America. But no, and that's why I'm excited for y'all show. Like, I don't really watch too many podcasts that are not mine, only because of the nature of what I do.
Yeah.
But there are very few shows out there that I'll be like, look, I got to tune into this every week. So I'm putting y'all in the same categories as I do Horrible Decisions, Breakfast Clubs, Lip Service, and Amanda Seal. Like, y'all are in that category when it comes to me. And those are shows that I listen to, not necessarily because I'm supporting it, but because I study from it. So that means that y'all are not only my favorite couple, but y'all are also now my homework.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, wow.
So don't fuck up.
Listen, right? The pressure. Woo, right?
But I'm not worried about y'all, though, because if y'all just
authentic.
authentically be y'all, it's going to be good no matter what.
Absolutely. And a lot of people don't understand how that's not always easy. You know what I mean? To really be authentically yourself. For me, it's like, you know what? If we're going to do this, I got to sit with me first. We got to sit with us first. And we got to be okay with what we talking about. And we got to be okay with us first. Because
y'all are going to share some stuff that people may not have ever knew. Like, I never knew that you tried to dance for one day. Not saying that I put it against you, but I just would never be a way I would ever have viewed you. But now that you mention that, it makes even more sense of why you can even go even harder.
Absolutely.
Because when someone has been in the position of those that they're helping out, it makes it easier for you to go even harder for them.
Absolutely. It's the purpose and the calling with that.
Exactly.
Like, I'm Glow for real. I'm BFG through and through. Like, I tell people all the time, I don't say, oh, those Glow girls, us Glow girls. When I Grammy Award winning Brandy, when we got that exclusive call to meet her, one of my girls had an ankle bracelet on her. You think I told her to cover that up? You think she didn't feel like, I don't want to, you going with this ankle monitor bracelet and we going to walk in just like you're supposed to, because I am them. You are not your situation. You're not your circumstances. And I'm going to be the evidence that you can pull through.
Big facts.
You know, you don't know what you don't know when you don't know what you don't know.
Big facts.
Yeah.
But I don't want to keep you here much longer because you are a very busy woman. But there's one more aspect of Glow that we've been talking about, but we haven't talked about. So tell us more about what's going on with Glow.
Yeah, so Instaglow, we are in our second phase of launching our online platform, Instaglow. Okay. So what is Instaglow? Instaglow is another ×2 situation where I'm like, if we're meeting these youth where they are, we need to meet these youth where they are.
Right.
Again, giving my husband his flowers, not because that's my husband, but that's my alignment partner in order for me to outlive the calling and purpose that God has for me. So here he come with this vision, with this idea of just being around me and knowing what I want in a way where he can help us develop everything I want in the fingertips of our youth. We can now meet them where they are. Exactly. So he is the amazing program developer over this. Him and his team got together, asked me what we needed, asked me what about he had to learn Glow. Like, although we're married, he didn't know the increment part of it. Exactly. So just programming everything. So here we go, Instaglow. Instaglow is a platform. It's a social media platform where we can meet our youth where they are, where we have our own network. There's not going to be, Mark can't come say, it's down this. No, we need to meet them where they are. They're in their phones. So we're going to meet them in their phones where it's this safe environment for them to talk about their needs, talk about confidence, talk about boy issues, talk about mama, dad issues, talk about the good things. We're talking about resources. We're giving them inspiration quotes. They're getting one-on-one mentoring there. They're able to get virtual telehealth. They're able to get virtual group settings. They're able to just and have their own profiles. We give them different tasks, that we get different awards, they get different certificates, they get different reminders. It's just amazing. And the beauty in that is now we're able to be global, truthfully, globally. You understand? And we're able to provide this device where they don't have to, even if they're depressed and can't move out the bed, they can connect to us. Even if they have anxiety about being in a group setting, they can keep their camera off and join us in this group, and they're still getting fed. So that is what Instaglow Instaglow is. And we got an app, y'all. We have an app, Instaglow. And how people can sign up for that is simply going to glowpower.org. You go to glowpower.org and you register. We service girls 11 to 24. When you go to glowpower.org, you'll register. You'll fill out your profile information. We'll then right away send you a link. Through that link, you can download our app, Instaglow, and you'll be able to log into Instaglow from the information that you register with on glowpower.org, and you'll have access. Welcome. We're ready for y'all. Again, I don't do this for the likes. I employ my own funds. Glow put up half. Mickell Dent put up the other half because I believe in a bigger mission, a bigger calling and purpose. So there you go.
So as soon as this episode is done and I pick my baby up from school, I'm going to make her register. Only because she just turned 11. And I want her to be able to have this nearby resource, because as a parent of a preteen, she's starting to get to that point where talking to daddy and mommy is not normal for her anymore. And she's getting very, very private. And I don't also want to be that daddy who is just like, I'm going to take doors off because you're not talking. No, I want you to be able to find your safe space. And something like this sounds like it's be an amazing thing for her to have access to it. And knowing the founders and knowing that they are doing this with love, that's the most important thing, because this is y'all love into this. I know it's going to be great. And knowing that my daughter can, my 11-year-old can benefit from it. And then eventually when my 9-year-old gets old enough, she too can benefit from it. And they don't never have to tell me anything that's going on in their life, but knowing that there's a safe space like this where they can go and they can have those conversations and express themselves the way that they needed to, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with you being in your room, because I know you can go here. And I won't be that dad be like, hey, Mickell, check out this profile for me. What did she say? Like, I'm not going to do that.
You ain't going to get that. I don't play about my girls in confidentiality.
I know that, but as a dad.
I know, I get it.
As a dad, nepotism. Hey, business bestie. My baby, can you hold on? Right. But at the same time, I'd be like, hey, can you check this profile and see if everything is okay? I do a little extra love on this one.
Absolutely.
And that's most that I would probably do in regard to. But knowing that it exists and knowing that that's out here, I can feel better about social media, because I don't want her to have social media. Even as she gets older, because it's so unhealthy.
Yes.
It's so unhealthy.
Yes.
And the TikTok ban proved to the world how unhealthy social media can be, because there are so many people who lived only on TikTok. So when it went away and they started having to find other platforms in America, and those going back to Facebook and going back to TikTok, going back to Instagram, and there's so many of them saying, I've only been here for 5 minutes, and it's just so angry and so negative. It's like, this is true, and this is where we live at. And we went over to Red Note. I'm always looking for the next big social media thing, because that's where I got to start promoting that. I like to get ahead of the curve. So I was already dealing with Red Note and Lemonade and all that before all this happened, and I'm like, it's such a different vibe over here. It's so positive, it's so motivational over here. And then the Chinese folks was like, oh, come on over, let me teach you how to say this in China so you can understand what you're walking into. And I'm like, this is what, now if my baby wanted to be on this, I would let her, because I can feel safer over there. But no, I don't feel safe with you on Facebook. I don't feel safe with you on Instagram, and I'd be damned if I let you anywhere near Twitter.
That part.
Like, I'd be damned.
And that's what I want parents to feel. Like, I want parents to be like, oh, if it's Instaglow, cool. I don't even got to monitor
like, as soon as you get your phone, let me download Instaglow on there. Okay, go sign up real quick.
Yeah.
You know?
And this would be a great place for her to start, because we're, again, in our second phase. Our third phase is looking to launch in April. And that's just putting really more promo, because right now we're in our beta phase. We want to test it out, making sure all the likes really like and all the this really list before we flood it. And the really another beauty part about that is Glow, we're true at what we say, because our leads over the app, which is she's over monitoring it and making sure our girls and things, she is a former and current Glow girl, where we're actually employing y'all like TikTok and all that, TikTok over here in Instaglow, and we'll pay you for this. You know what I mean? Because they inspire, because you know how they be like,
hey, bro,
all of that.
Figure out a way for me to get in on this. Because I want to be able to take all the women podcasts on my network and be able able to let them live stream over there. That way those women-based conversations can be viewed in a safe environment like that. No, I'm dead serious. I want to figure out how we can do it because I know I want to keep it a safe space, and I want to make it that men can't be here, men can't be here. I'm okay with that. But help me find out a way that shows like Savannah's with Lupus Has No Face can be able to be viewed by those on Instaglow as well. So when she goes live on Wednesdays, here's a conversation that's led by women with women that she can be a part of, and they can see and learn from it as well too. I'm dead serious about that.
I feel it.
Okay.
Because
I'm not gonna let y'all do all this and I can't.
Look, you like why is that?
Hold on, wait a minute now. I'm finna let my knee get rubbed. I gotta be able to do something here. Okay.
You get your bid in right now. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
Shit, let me get some money and I'll invest it because I already know. Because just the simple fact of how it is, it's major. Like there are so many women who little girls who wake up every day and they fear leaving their house because it does not feel safe to be a woman. And a black woman, we're not even going to have that conversation. That's a whole nother show by itself. But by creating this application and this platform that you can wake up this morning and be like, I don't like the boys at my school. And there could be a whole group of women coming on. This is what I did to deal with that. This is what I'm going. Well, if this boy is saying, don't be afraid. And then it could just simply be that you come to find out that one of your teachers is also a part of this conversation. So they've created a little space over here where you can come in and just have that small little personal therapy session that can make the biggest difference. Y'all need to target middle schools. I told you, this is why you my business bestie. I can see it.
We're actually Glow is
started
in the
middle
works
school
now for middle schools. We're in the works of partnering with a few principals to talk about Glow, and especially even in the Georgia location to talk about Glow and how can we really bring Glow back into the schools like we used to be. But that middle school, like you said, is that they're needing it more now than ever, and I love what you said because I didn't even think about even talking about Instaglow in those middle schools until you just said middle schools.
Right.
I'm for that.
Yeah, because middle school is when they're leaving their innocence. Once you leave elementary school, you're not innocent anymore. You're not the little kid who expects to go to recess after you get done eating. You're now walking around going to anywhere between 4 to 8 classes based on your school. You're being overwhelmed. You're going through your hormones. You're going through changes. You're looking different. People are looking at you differently, and it's a bunch of people around you. And you're now going from being the little smart kid in Miss Johnson class to student number 17 of 203. And all we care about is, did you turn your assignment in? And don't let it be a school that's a high school and a middle school.
That part.
So now you have to worry about those hormonal instincts that's making the high schoolers maybe look at the middle schools different, or even being bullied in those situations. Like my baby right now goes to MSL and she loves it. Great. Shout out to Dr. Juan Baez over there. He's the principal over there. He's also my best friend. So he already knows, like, that's Antonio's kid. I already know. So she feels kind of safe that if she needs to ever say, I don't feel comfortable, she doesn't have a problem walking into the principal office and saying something because she's already familiar. But what about her classmate? What about that kid who's at home and she has nothing but brothers? Yep. Not even saying it's a bad situation, but you have nothing but brothers. Nobody understands you. What about now that President Trump is out here saying there's only 2 genders, you're only male or female, and they're having questions with their own sexuality? The government just told you that you don't, if you feel like a boy, you shit out of luck, And something like this can simply be like, hey, I'm having these issues. Help me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Those hard conversations. Like,
exactly.
It was a youth who made a post, and I didn't see it right away. One of my staff saw it right away because we are intentional, where we were able to call right away and get on that. It was another girl who made a post, and all right, y'all, we going live at 12 o'clock. Meet me here. We're going to talk about mental health. We're going to talk about this because it's in real life. We deal with these consequences. Glow is not just the good side of it where they see the pictures and New York trips and all of that. Like, nah, y'all don't understand. On a certain trip, like in Memphis, when we took the girls to Memphis, one of our girls were having an anxiety attack in the background where I had to put full-blown therapist hat on. Like, people don't understand that. So Glow is not just in an agency or organization. We're the organization, and we're really true in what we say.
How much does stock cost for me to buy in? Because my goal is in 4 years, when y'all too damn big, I'm just eating off my glow checks. Like, that's my goal. Y'all think I'm playing.
Yeah.
Okay? I need to know where I can invest that. How much do I need to see? Can I send 15 cents a day to be able to help these girls so I can get like, I'm not even.
It's happening. It's coming.
Right.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And it's really coming. And it's because I'm staying true, staying in alignment. You get your hiccups. You get your question of why this person went this way, or why this person this. But if you stay true to the purpose, the calling, and just stick to it, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's happening.
And it's going to happen.
We global.
I'm just happy that I get to watch it from beginning to end.
Thank you.
Like, I get to live the documentary. You know, while everybody else is still trying to get old copies of Eyes on the Prize, I'm living it with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I get to see that. But I don't want to keep you no longer, because I know me and you, we could talk forever. I got to get you in here by yourself.
Yeah.
Because you are a story within yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk about
the more and more she keeps bringing to what you did, like, you got a story that I need to hear by myself. Plus, as black men, we need to show what positive black men look like. So I definitely got to get you in here. But you just be gone too much, though. I got to. You come up here on your own. Leave her. We got to have real.
First off, you see how
talk.
they do. You see how men do. A woman would have never. You understand?
Y'all have whole things geared around y'all. There's a Galentine's Day. There's Peyton sits just for y'all. Y'all
where
do
my girl Savannah? I need some help. I need some AA. They trying to do
so
me,
much
girl.
for other women,
You're right.
we don't do nothing. And
Absolutely.
It's not y'all fault.
No, I get it.
It's not
Absolutely.
y'all fault.
I agree.
It's men. Honestly, men right now have not gotten comfortable with being vulnerable around other men. And that is a narrative that I do definitely want to change between 2025 and 2030. And I want to cultivate that circle again, not necessarily just on regular everyday life, because there's a lot of stuff as men we got to deprogram from anyway. But I also just want the men community to get back to where it needs to be at. Whereas if you see a brother out here who's got an issue with his car, you either out there helping him fix the car, or you giving him a ride back and forth until it's time for him to get this situated in regards to that. I want to get it to the point where anything that I'm doing, you going to be able to do it too. So if you decide to say, hey, Tone, I want to go start my own podcast and network, you don't feel ashamed to come ask me.
Right.
Because you don't feel like it's natural competition.
Exactly.
I don't want you to feel like it's competition because,
Exactly.
one, let me toot my horn real quickly. You can never do what I do the way I do it. But if I can tell you how I do it so you can do it right the first time, you ain't got to bump your head as many times as I did. Okay? And if you happen to do it better than me, I want you to be able to do it better than me and then help the next person do it better than you. So don't ever be ashamed. Like, I look back at Homer Blow like, bro, I always wanted to be you. But now I'm you, but I'm doing a little bit better, but I will never forget what you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a whole different lane than you are, but I wouldn't be in this lane if you didn't do what you did. Because you showed me you don't need the radio station. Make your own. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to make your own radio station. Talk the way you want to talk. Find your people, and like you say, meet them where they are, which is why I'm here where I am. But this is enough about me. I want to go ahead and thank the Dents for coming through. Y'all know y'all are always welcome here. Where can we find y'all at?
So you can find, first off, we'll start with the podcast. I need y'all to take y'all phones out right now. Y'all probably looking at this on y'all phones. I need y'all to pause it.
I think I already.
So when I'm saying this, exactly, you say this, but I need y'all to subscribe. I need you to go on YouTube, and I need you to subscribe to the Dents TV. The Dents TV. We have already launched our podcast. We are working on episodes, and you don't want to miss it. Now, who is this for? This is for any individual who wants just life. If you're going through your healing journey, if you're going through life, this is for you. But primarily, this is for those couples and those individuals who are looking to eventually start dating again. You want to come here because we're talking about real life things. We're talking about things that people don't traditionally talk about, that communication barriers, that merging the families, those baby mamas. Because if you know, you know. He's very transparent about how many kids he have, but I ain't far from him either. You know, I have 4 of my own children, and just really merging those and things like that. We're going to talk about real life issues. And the turn up, the funds. How do you keep intimacy in your relationship and not just talking about that because we want to talk about that, but talking about it because it is not always peaches and creams, and just letting people know how to overcome those things, because too many times we're breaking up the homes because we're unprepared to be in relationships for what they really mean, or we're walking away because social media makes it seem like it's supposed to be perfect. So we'll be the ones to go first. We'll be the ones to unmask ourselves to let you know the good, the bad, the ugly, and the blissfulness of being connected to your person.
That's what's up. So make sure y'all check that out. But of course, like always, make sure you check us out on all streaming platforms like Speaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever else you listen to your podcast at. Make sure y'all be on the lookout because the Deaf Fresh Show is getting ready to start back up again in February with our What is Love tour. And we got a nice cast of people joining us this time. So make sure you check that out because we're going to be talking about everything from attachment styles to, look, he cheated. You going to forgive him or not? Like, at the end of the day. And we need to have those conversations because, unfortunately, dating sucks right now. And a lot of it's because y'all not in the right pool. So, with that being said, we are out of here, people. Peace.